This week, we talk about the idea that salt is bad for you. Also, we'll talk about masculinity being classified as harmful and watch another vegan dog. Let's get into it. I'll give you one guess how the vegan dog ended up.
A lot like the last one.
True, but I'll never tire of watching.
Oh,
Animal instinct defeat ideology.
it's the best. And we have the same instinct.
Yep, that's right.
If we didn't, we'd have 4 stomachs.
Yep, and a tail and a cowbell around our neck.
Right.
Good stuff.
And udders. Some guys do, but
Some guys do have udders. That's true. That's sad but true. All right, so I want to talk about my my carnivore hack at McDonald's. Because I know you haven't been to a fast food place in like what
7-8 years
since Obama was president.
And you know what the funny thing is? I would if I walk in and you have this on the screen already, and I see it, and I'm like, ooh, and then I look at the salt shaker, and I went, ugh. It's my mindset. I'm just conditioned now to see those arches and go, fucking gross.
That's good because you're better off.
Right.
Right. Well, you're way better off just to avoid McDonald's.
Yep.
But I wanted to talk about, okay, let's say you're, obviously, and this comes with some disclaimers because the best thing would be just not to eat fast, right?
Yeah. Just
you don't have to go into McDonald's. But if you choose to go to McDonald's, here's the best way to.
If you go with your family, you don't want to be an asshole.
Right.
Just
Yep.
have a solution.
Slap the nuggets out of their hands. Stop eating that shit.
Yep.
Just be the guy in his arms crossed the whole
Stop
time.
eating those chicken hooves and lips.
Chicken lips. So when I do go to McDonald's, here's the best way to eat the best meat possible at McDonald's. The quarter pounders are the only things that are 100% real. Like, I don't know if it's fresh or not ever frozen, but that's marked difference between the regular hamburger and the quarter pounder. That's why the quarter pounder is like $7.
Right.
So
is it really?
It's like $6.57 for 1 quarter pound.
Not the meal?
Oh, it might be just the burger. It might be the double quarter pounder.
I don't care, but last time I ate fast food was when it was like $1.99 for a whole meal.
Right. So here's my little hack. Now the problem is, okay, you're in the drive-through. They're gonna go, huh? When you tell them this, because they don't know it exists. But if you tell them I just want 2 patties. What I used to say was, give me the quarter pound burger plain without the bun. And then they would still go, huh? But now I just say, I just want 2 patties. Because if you say, give me the burger without the bun, guess what? They charge you $7.
They didn't now?
If you say, give me 2 patties, they have a button that says quarter pound patty, $1.60.
Really?
Quarter pound patty, $1.60. So I get 2 quarter pound patties for $3.20.
Well, I would have doubled up then.
Yeah, right. You can if you're that
I thought
hungry.
we were staring at $14.
No, that's $3.20 right there. I forget how much the cheese might be a little more, but if you just get them plain, it's $3.20. So
Cheese looks fake.
Oh, well, yeah. It's mostly it's whatever they scooped up after the last oil spill.
Right. Yeah, right, exactly. And then they just dyed it yellow.
It's mostly petroleum.
Right.
I've always thought those like American slices they just can't be that good compared to hard cheese. I mean, American those like individually wrapped American slices you get even at your house. They've always seemed super fake to me, but that's neither here nor there. So that's my little carnivore beef hack at McDonald's. Just ask for the quarter pound patties. And I even have to coach them through it because when I'm talking to them, I can tell I have no idea. Nobody's ever done this, at least in our town. Mm-hmm. I say they usually just give it to me in the pancake container.
Oh, sure.
So and then make sure you ask for a fork and then salt if you can handle the salt. If you're not scared of it.
I heard something about that this week, but I ignored it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we're going to get into that too. So that's my McDonald's. Eat the meat, eat the beef. And, it's funny, as I was I tried to find some research, and McDonald's has the market cornered on this shit. If you just type in McDonald's quarter pound beef patty, nutrition facts or whatever, it's all McDonald's results.
Right.
Like they got that shit covered.
Oh, right.
So my research source was McDonald's.com.
Really?
That says they're 100% real beef, no filler, no additives,
That's awesome.
just salt and pepper. So, I assume every corporation is lying at every turn, but I don't know if they can legally say that if it wasn't. So who knows?
See, but you're going to be on the outs with some of the salt snobs with that table salt.
Oh, just the regular old packet salt.
Yeah, well, yeah, ionized.
I didn't have my my real salt with, so I had to slum it.
I'm a Himalayan guy.
Yeah, I like that stuff too.
I can, and people who say, "Oh, it's salt," shut up. I can totally tell the difference.
Oh, just from a taste wise.
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't know, and we're going to get into the salt discussion big time here in a bit, but I don't know what the nutritionally, there may be some differences there, but I know for sure, yeah, taste wise. Oh, definitely.
Oh, and for nutritionally too.
Yeah, exactly. It's all,
but it's not processed.
It's different substances.
Oh yeah, that table salt's processed. Might as well put it in your water softener.
Well, its whole reason for existing is to not clump up.
Right.
So they put a bunch of stuff in it so it doesn't clump.
I noticed the difference. If somebody puts table salt in my shit, and I'm like, ugh, and this is going to sound really stupid, but it's
so normal. Got it.
Right. Yeah. So not out of character. It's
on brand.
The table salt is salty. It's just like way too salty. It's like it tastes chemical.
That's crazy, Todd.
I know. And it's just but when you do
this shit tastes salty.
Right? This salt tastes salty. But it's just, I don't know. It's too strong. It's like chemically.
Right.
Whereas like I do Himalayan,
I know what you're saying, yeah.
And it's just mellow.
Tastes fake.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they're trying too hard to taste like salt.
Yep. No, I can totally see that.
But kosher or sea or Himalayan,
yep,
it's mellower. It's not quite just so. Like if you put too much Himalayan salt on your eggs, you can still eat them.
Oh, right. Yeah. It's not like that weird chemical aftertaste thing. Okay, so I saw this article in my daily news scanning, and I thought this was interesting and kind of refers back to our.
I get.
This refers back to our evolution episode
about toxic masculinity. So right. I can speak on behalf of whoever wrote this because I know their side well.
Right. And this goes back to our evolution episode we did, and just what people are attracted to and trying to deny the evolution. And to me, trying to repress naturally occurring masculinity and traditional male behavior is denying what our evolution has produced.
And I fight with Mel about this all the time. Sorry. We debate this all the time. And I said, and she said that, I don't know. Go ahead. Well, I don't want to.
The reason I want to bring this up
on your I don't. Call here
I just wanted to bring it up and chat about it because it kind of ties into all this fitness and nutrition stuff. Because one of the big components of this is, we're trying to be strong, right? We're trying to look a certain way, look more masculine, right? I mean, that's what we're after when we're doing all these things.
I think that's a byproduct.
Well, it is.
We don't know why we're doing it.
Well,
we just want to do it.
Yeah, and whether it's evolutionarily,
right?
Probably be to attract a better mate, right? That's the evolutionary driving force,
Or keep the one you got.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. And then, but the other thing is, we always talk about testosterone too, and that's a hormone that is a measure of your health, and having it too low, which is in pretty much direct correlation to being less masculine, because all the things that make you masculine are reduced if your T is too low. So then, in my feeling, a normal to what's the right word? I don't want to say high T, but a appropriately high level is what we're gunning for here. And to say, no, you need to be, more beta, more, less masculine, and to try to suppress those natural urges seems to me like you're fighting evolution there. So that's really the only point I had on it. Of course, but what bothered me was how they literally classified it and the American Psychological Association issued its first official warning against toxic masculinity. So, that's just not something you like to see. Warns that masculinity ideology.
Well, I'm torn because there are certain aspects of toxic masculinity that I do agree with.
You mean
like kids, like fathers being with the guy in the picture, being with their little boy, and then they go in the house and the mom's with the daughter cooking, and the mom said, "Sure, it would be nice to help with these dishes," and the dad looks at the kid and goes, "No, we don't have to do it." Right. Or bullshit like that.
Yeah.
So it exists.
Yep.
But the problem is they go too far. And here's a perfect analogy I use with Mel. If a little boy is playing with a doll and the father goes, "Boys don't play with dolls," that's toxic masculinity and that's bullshit.
Right.
But the other flip side is when they go too far and they say, "You're only getting dolls because we got to even this out."
Right.
So both sides go way too far.
And I sort of have a laissez-faire approach, which is like let the kids just do whatever.
Right.
But it's funny though because, and this is never the exception proves the rule, kind of thing. But on average, boys will grab that doll and be like, "Let's fight."
Oh, for sure.
Or act like it has a gun.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So it's not like them playing with a doll is a feminine activity.
Right.
But even if it was, who cares?
But the Susie will also grab the stick and make it a gun.
Yeah, sometimes. But I have
dads
a boy.
would be like, "You can't. No, girls don't shoot guns."
Right. And I have a boy and two girls, so I see this play out, and obviously that's anecdotal, but
it's not.
But
it's natural.
But it's also just what I've observed from other parents who have both genders or one or the other, and it's funny because boys just default into the aggressive play.
Yep.
And girls are more like, let's play house. And,
Yep.
they just default to those. And I don't know if that's societal training.
I don't think it is. I think it's natural. I think
it is
Mel's terminology with little boys is, and I always laugh when she says this, but it's always like, boys are so hard.
Yeah,
they're just like, they're flopping around. They have no body control. They just like run into walls.
Oh, yeah. Literally do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
just go
bounce
hard
off
on the trampoline.
Yeah. They just go hard.
Yeah.
And girls are a little more reserved and probably smarter. They're just a little more cautious.
They're not as reckless or as risk.
And you cannot convince me that's not innate.
No, I think it is completely innate.
But there are some girls who do that too.
Oh, sure. There's always exceptions.
And here we go down the path of being binary.
Yep.
Because some girls are hard too run into walls. And then
I think it's a total scale. Like there's a spectrum that everyone's on.
Total spectrum.
Yeah. But as a rule,
I forgot the name of it, but
if it's like what's that Kinsey thing where it's like 1 through 6, whether how homosexual or heterosexual you are.
That's what I was thinking.
And nobody's a 1 or a 6, like everybody's somewhere in the middle.
Right.
So I think it's the same with how masculine or aggressive or whatever you are. And there's girls that fall on both ends and boys that fall on both ends. But if you're going to make a blanket statement, you can be pretty safe in saying most males are here, most females are here, and there's always exceptions.
And there's studies.
It's a bell curve.
For sure. And there's studies of this where they observe children and put a single boy by himself in a room, and the left side of the room is Tonka trucks, and the right side is dolls. Which one does he go to?
Yep.
Depends on the little boy.
But overall, the bell curve is going to say
But then the argument was, okay, now what's his conditioning? What kind of house did he live in? Was it the dad that said,
"Did you slap the dolls out of their hands?
We don't help with dishes."
Yep.
So and the one I remember watching was fascinating because you could see the little boy go, like looking at the dolls,
right?
Like, oh, that would be fun, but I better not.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some of that.
Yeah,
but it's interesting because I have kids that are approximately the same age. And boys and girls. So we have all toys around all the time.
Sure.
So it's not like we have a boy and only buy, in quotes, boy toys.
Sure.
So they are left to play with whatever they want. And guess what my girls do all the time? Barbie house.
Oh, for sure.
They have all the costumes, the princess dresses.
Because you're not going to
And my boy could wear those princess dresses if he wanted. He could head to the Barbie house, but he just chooses not to.
Right. So, but you're not going to.
And I'm not influencing it either way.
Right.
Because I was very conscious of that.
You're not going to influence the evolution out of the kids.
Exactly.
The daughters are going to go towards the Barbies and play house because they're going to eventually have that urge to nest.
It's more maternal.
Right.
All right. So, but here's what bothered me about the article. Okay. So
what bothers you about the article is what we just talked about and agreed on.
Yeah.
Now we got to fight it.
Right. But I wanted to say this one sentence, which really bothered me. Let's see if I can find it here. Okay. Okay.
Oh.
The traditional masculinity marked by stoicism, thumbs up.
Two thumbs up.
Competitiveness,
2 thumbs up.
Thumbs up again. Dominance and aggression. Okay, I don't necessarily like dominance might be, but it says is on the whole harmful. So all those things they say it classify as harmful. That's what I would say is those are the things that built the entire freaking world.
Stoicism is borderline my religion.
Right, exactly. Right.
So yeah, I needless to say I take exception with the whole harmful thing.
Exactly. I mean, and this is how the
Earth
was.
They don't even know what stoicism is if they say it's harmful.
Right.
Read Marcus Aurelius and tell me he was harmful.
Basically, what they're saying is if you're unwilling to cry, or I think that's what they're trying to say. Like you're
that's
just
not
trying to be
stoicism.
too hard. I know, but like being stoic.
Stoic just means you're a serious person.
Right.
That doesn't mean you're incapable.
I'm just
of emotion.
speculating on.
Oh, okay.
On what
they're using their own.
I'm
context.
speculating that on what that is. So, but I say those are all the characteristics that built the world.
Right. Yep. Yes. We would not have skyscrapers and
right.
cities and yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Right. That's like in Wall Street.
All right, we better stop there before we get in hella trouble.
In Wall Street, when Gordon Gekko does his greed is good speech.
Right. Yep. Okay, so I saw this article and I thought of you. Okay, there's this this fat chef. He lost 21 stone, which is English for a lot of pounds.
I should know that. Just tried to walk me through how it worked, and I just got fucking confused. Yeah.
Okay, after a friend texted him fat fuck every day for 6 weeks.
Oh my God, that's so awesome.
I mean,
every single day.
Just relentless. Yep. He says,
talk about the caring, the commitment from the friend.
To be truthful, yeah.
Or daily.
Not let him off the hook.
Right.
He said he started piling on pounds at the age 14 when he got a part-time job at a kitchen.
And he's puffing on lung darts.
At his heaviest, he weighed a dangerously unhealthy... okay, we got to look up what the stone is.
It's like 30 pounds is a stone, I think. No, that can't be right. If he's 33 stone, it can't be 33. 14. Okay. 14, so half of that.
What did I say, 33?
Yeah.
462 pounds.
Holy sheep shit.
And he lost 21, which is 294.
It's 300, so.
Holy Jesus. Oof. Wow. Okay, so.
Good for him. Good for the friend,
At his heaviest, he weighed 36 stone, which is over 400 pounds. Thanks to some serious tough love from his friend, a romantic connection, and a healthy diet, the head chef turned his life around and dropped to his healthiest 14 stone 4 pounds. Okay, let's find out what that is. Basically, $200.
Jeez.
That is crazy. His weight loss journey began when his friend, 46-year-old camper van salesman, I don't know what that is. Must be RV.
Yep.
That's what they call RVs over there.
Yep.
Saw an advert for the ideal weight diet in his local general practitioner surgery. Desperate to help his friend lose weight, Neil decided the best plan was to serve up Jamie some tough love. This tough love came in the form of texts, including fat fuck, which Neil texted Jamie every day for 6 weeks, and other motivational gems such as you'll be dead by the time you're 40. It might not be everyone's idea of help, but it certainly worked for Jamie. Jamie explained, it took the full 6 weeks to motivate me to do something, but I'm so glad I did. Neil saved my life. I can't thank him enough.
Did he get the check?
What do you think about that? Yeah, it says here that he's began a relationship with his neighbor, and he's never been happier. There he is in his
And if he had the
in
skin,
his 400-pound
he had
pants.
the skin tuck.
Yeah, geez, you'd have to slice. You'd have to go to a butcher.
Right.
I mean, just
right.
Yeah, that's
Ugh.
craziness there. So, and I know you self-talk the crap out of yourself.
Oh, for sure.
Call yourself
Text
a
myself.
pussy and
Yep.
just, God damn it,
Mm-hmm.
And because you can take that.
Right.
And I saw a meme the other
Not just take it, but I need it.
Well, right.
I need the football coach
what
kicking
motivates
over
you.
a garbage can and saying, "What the fuck are you doing out there?"
You need the cousins to Zimmer. You like that? You like
right.
that?
right. I thought he was going to punch him.
That was good.
I was
at
liked
that
it.
game, by the way.
You were not.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you told me
It
about
was
that.
freaking awesome.
I'd like that because Cousins isn't like that, and Zimmer is maybe in the locker room, but at the same time, I know Zimmer doesn't like Cousins, so that scene made it worth it, knowing that Zimmer doesn't like him.
That was kind of funny. All right, that was a rabbit hole.
Short, shallow one.
Shallow rabbit hole. Yep. Okay, so. But my whole point was everybody requires different motivation, right?
Right.
This guy, his friend was calling him a fat fuck every day for 6 weeks.
And everyone's going to be like, "Oh, it's so toxic.
Right.
It's abusive." Well, it fucking worked.
It
so
worked,
if
yep.
it doesn't work on you, then don't allow someone to treat you that way. But if it works on Jamie, leave him alone.
Yeah, he could have blocked his number.
Right.
After 5 solid weeks of getting texted fat fuck.
Usually after 6 days, you're gonna be like,
Yeah, I'm detecting a pattern here.
my fat ass is going to go over there and roll his ass.
So I thought that was funny.
Good for Jamie.
Yeah, so major weight loss there. All right, so
Hope he got out of the restaurant business.
now last week we showed you a vegan who was raising their dog to be
She's not vegan.
Okay.
That lady's not vegan.
Well, I don't know if she is, but
She's not. Look at her face.
Yeah.
She's too vibrant. She's too healthy looking.
now so she goes on this morning show to demonstrate that her dog is also vegan by giving him a choice of what to eat. Okay. So we're gonna see how this unfolds and react.
Lucy decided because of the hot weather, Storm wasn't eating the same amount of meat as usual. And Lucy, you thought, you know what? I'm going to try Storm on vegetables.
Not necessarily just vegetables, but a plethora. She's a carb fiend, essentially.
has
She's
the
always
same
been of that
eyes.
inclination anyway.
The
How
dog
it came about is my neighbour, Ben. He started it and introduced it, and as did I. And she seemed to perk up, be a lot happier.
Does she like it
generally.
straight away? Like you put that food down, she
I mean,
just
she's
turns
more,
her nose
straight
up?
she likes
away.
more of the wet food type thing.
Yeah.
It's more palatable as she's drinking loads of water. But no, really took to it.
2 bowls here, right?
Oh, no.
One is full of vegetables and one is full of meat. Storm,
Right.
Storm, we
Don't
hate
tell
to
her
put the
Lucy.
temptation.
Does the mom know that they're going to do this?
I don't think so.
Let her go.
Should I let her go?
Let her go.
Oh, she's obviously going to go. Obviously. Oh, you little...
Yes.
I didn't swear.
And there is the selection.
Oh, she
even
took a sniff.
sniffed
Like,
it.
what's over here?
Fairness,
Not
when
this
I
shit
said
again. Fuck those vegetables.
Yes. But look, this is
Right to the frickin' meat.
That's fantastic.
Oh god, that's hilarious.
So at
I love
what?
how they put the curb music to it.
Right. I wonder how before long these are completely staged.
Yeah, that obviously. Well, the beauty of that was she had no idea that was
but
coming.
she didn't look vegan.
Oh, right. Well, I don't know that.
But I'm
Maybe
cutting
she's
her-
not.
I'm cutting her slack. 'Cause
Maybe.
was-
Well,
was
she didn't say
fetching.
she was.
Oh,
She just said that her dog was.
okay.
So maybe she's just a cheap ass and was just trying to
Right.
save money on dog food or something. But
And then she almost slipped. Just let her go. And then she goes, "Oh, I'm sure she's going to pick." I mean,
she knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Because she knew she couldn't deny that animal instinct.
right.
It's like, sure, I can force my dog to be vegan or
Yeah.
vegetarian. But
If she's starving,
will they ever choose it? No. So,
she was fetching though.
yes. That's good. That's fetching. That's very funny. Okay. So, okay, I wanted to talk real quick, and this is off, I'm dropping this on you. You didn't know I was going to even ask you this. What are your favorite fitness products right now? What do you love? I'll go first. You think? Me, my PRX rack.
My PRX rack.
My PRX rack.
PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. PRX rack. I know half the people that work there, so
Yep. So I got this.
I won't argue with that.
I got this profile racked on my super low ceiling.
Yep.
Basement allows me to bench press, squat, do all that stuff, and then it folds up and it's like only takes up 4 inches away from the wall when it's retracted. So it's awesome. My second thing that I love, and this is all from my home gym, is the Sonos One. I have 2 of these in my
you
home
sync
gym,
'em?
and so it's left and right stereo. These things are little, like I mean they're
Yeah, we have Wonder Boom.
is that a Sonos product too?
No,
Or
but same concept.
Oh, okay, but
But they're not $219. They're
well, yeah, these are expensive.
They're
Yeah,
$75.
yeah, these are
at
expensive, but
Best Buy,
they sound good.
These do too, but those better sound considerably better.
They sound amazing. Yeah,
For $219, they better not only have fucking 4
I don't think
stars.
they're that. I don't think I paid that much, but it might have been.
Although the 4 stars, it's kind of like when you get an F in class, and then the rest of the time you get A's, and you still only get a B.
Right. Exactly.
So I don't take the 4 stars to heart.
Yeah. So, but I love all the way they sound. And, we always talk about, oops, I didn't have the thing up. So here it is. And there's a PRX. So people can see that. But we always talk about how important music is, right? When you're working out. I mean, it's for me, like it's funny because even when I'm doing my like 50 push-ups in the morning, if it gets to like a quiet part in the song, I'm like, fuck, this is hard. And then it's like, and then back comes back in, and I'm like, I got this.
For lifting, yes. For running or any long cardio, I've really noticed that I do much better with podcasts or just like chill music.
Yeah, I can see that because then you're just kind of almost distracting your brain.
Well, when I'm running and I'm like if I do like 3 miles and I'm after a mile, I don't want Du Hast coming on.
Right.
And then I sprint the last 2 miles.
Right. Yeah. I should preface this. This is for resistance training, not
Right.
for long bouts of cardio.
Right.
So do you have any
So
your favorite
when I
fitness
say
products right now?
When you say, because my favorites tend to trend with what I'm actually doing at the time. So I reframe your question so I can answer it.
I'll allow it.
But when I reframe your question so I can actually answer it, I ask myself, if I were building a home gym right now, what would be like the first 3 things I'd buy? Kettlebells, rower, and after that, I would probably have to say dumbbells. I'm pretty simple. I just like
Do you have any
Raw.
preferences for these kettlebells that you
Rogue.
like? The Rogue.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at that. Those look pretty beefy.
Back
With a nice texture.
Oh, but the things you can do with them,
Yeah.
endless.
I've seen Rogan talk a lot about those too.
Oh yeah, yep,
He uses
yep.
them a lot.
Yeah, there's so many
And Sean
kettlebell
Baker.
workouts. Oh yeah, for sure.
Like a lot of the between the legs and
It's
then
just the kettlebell swing. Yeah,
Yeah.
The Russian and American kettlebell swings, and then you can go like this and snatch them above your head,
Right.
and you can put them in a front rack and do like walking lunges. You can do overhead press. I
Yeah,
mean,
right.
there's you Google kettlebell workouts, and you can do head to toe
yeah, that's all you
with a
need.
kettlebell. Oh, absolutely.
Yep. I like it.
Different weights, because if I'm front squatting, I'm going to need a heavier bell.
Right. Well, kind of like dumbbells.
For sure.
You got to have a,
Yep.
because obviously doing things over your head is way harder than
But
bench
the
pressing.
advantage with the kettlebell is you can go like this, and you can flip it behind so it sits
Oh,
here,
right.
and you can manage more weight than you can with a traditional dumbbell.
yeah, because it's all not all wrist.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, the first thing I ever bought for my home gym was just a set of adjustable dumbbells, the one from 10 to 50 pounds.
Yep. The click weights.
Yeah, completely cheap, but
Yep.
well, not cheap, but cheaper than buying a whole set of actual
For sure, but they
different weights.
were cheap.
And it took up no space.
In construction, they're cheap. We have some too,
Yeah.
and I fucking hate them.
Yeah, I mean, compared to regular dumbbells, they suck.
I
But
go,
to get me
click.
going, it was awesome.
Like Mel will go click, 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 click down to 15, and she'll use them, and then she'll put them back in there, and I'll go click, 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 click up to 50, and I'll pick them up and blink, 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 blink.
Oh, the shit falls out.
Yeah, they're a pain in the ass.
Yeah. But if you're just getting going and, that was the first thing I had, and I worked for a long time with just those.
Oh, right, right.
So I mean,
right.
it's better than it's the thing that's the best is the thing that you have and you're going to actually use, right?
Yeah, I was going to say use.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, let's get into our topic for the day, which is I saw this study, okay. About salt, but okay, so here's the one that made me go, I don't know about this. Okay, it was that basically shitting on salt again, saying that we're eating too much salt. A 12% reduction can save lives. So you read that and you go, okay, so they're demonizing the salt. Now, is this another case of eggs? Eggs are shitty. Eggs are awesome. Eggs are shitty again.
It's not.
Right?
It is before I even read it, don't even scroll down.
Okay.
What it is
welcome to Predictions with Dewey.
Fucking right. If I'm wrong, I'll eat my hat.
I'll eat all this salt.
If
he's wrong, he'll risk his life by eating salt.
We eat too much salt that we don't know we're eating. And then we add more on top of it.
That's a good point.
So there might be, there's this, that salad dressing that I absolutely adore. It's that Olive Garden salad dressing.
Full of sodium.
7,000 milligrams. And I can't put that on a salad and then go, oh, my steak's done. I better load up on salt.
Right.
No, you already got your salt, bro.
Yeah.
The problem is when people say salt's bad, period, get rid of it.
Right.
That's bullshit. You'll die.
Exactly.
You need salt.
You need it. It's like everything. It's all a question of what's the right recommended range. And that's really what's in question here.
I think the right recommended range is probably, 3,600, 3,800 milligrams.
Actually, I have that pulled up.
Okay. But
So
my point is there people are like blowing by 3,800 milligrams.
Without even knowing it.
And knowing it. And then they're tracking what is above that.
They're just tracking added.
Yeah.
Yeah, added salt.
That's the salt. No.
I think you're right. I think you're pretty close. I haven't read this yet. We're going to go through it together. Okay, so heart disease continues, even amid coronavirus, heart disease continues to be the nation's leading cause of death, and much of it is preventable through a healthier diet. Now that I agree with.
Yep.
Now it's just the causes of that will be in, we'll be just disagreeing with them about possibly. The FDA released new sodium targets Wednesday aimed at nudging food companies to cut the amount of salt in processed and prepared foods. Well, for us, that doesn't matter because we're trying to stay away from most of that crap, right? Because if it's in a box, that's what they're talking about. Mm-hmm. So if we're just eating ribeyes and asparagus, this doesn't even concern us.
Look at there.
So the cuts are intended to reduce American sodium intake by about 12% over the next 2.5 years. It is an incremental step as the agency hopes to see even deeper cuts in years to come. But reducing sodium consumption, even this much, could have big public health benefits. Okay, too much sodium is making people sick. It's leading to hypertension that causes both heart disease, strokes, and even kidney damage, and it's preventable. Okay, so...
How could you say that guy's last name and be serious?
Dr. Janet Woodcock. What's funny?
I'm 12.
Okay, so they're pushing the food industry to change.
Look at the last sentence.
Okay.
That's what I said before you started scrolling.
People can't do this on their own because it's in the foods they buy. Yep. Okay.
Just like sugar.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
2,300.
Okay, here it says currently
3,400.
Americans consume 3,400 milligrams of sodium per day on average, vastly exceeding the U.S. government's latest dietary recommendations of a maximum of 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day, or about a teaspoon of salt.
So I had the average in my head.
If Americans reduce their intake to the recommended level, it could prevent an estimated 450,000 cases of cardiovascular disease and save roughly $40 billion in healthcare costs. Here's my contention. It's not because of the salt contained in those packaged and processed foods. It's those foods. I think if you ate ribeye with 3,400 milligrams of sodium on it, you're fine. But if you ate cereal, and that kind of shit that has that sodium baked into it, that's the problem.
Cereal's
not the salt.
But I get your point.
or, it's the things that it's in. And they're blaming the salt for what the grains and everything else did.
Well, my blood pressure jumped up on me. I traced it. I did a quasi-elimination diet. You know what I traced it back to?
Cereal.
Pickles.
Shit. Really?
Pickles were killing me. Oh, well, fuck, I eat a jar a day.
Wow.
I mean, it's free food.
Right. Well, right, because there's
You can
no
eat
calories.
it 0 calories.
Right, yeah.
And they taste like heaven.
Because cucumbers have nothing in them.
Right.
Just
And then that's even less
water,
calories
mostly water.
when they're pickled.
right. So my gut instinct contention is that they're blaming the salt when really the prepackaged processed foods are really what's to blame. And if you took the same amount of salt in every day with just meat and asparagus or whatever, leafy greens and just meat, I don't think you'd have a problem.
I'd love to see somebody with severe hypertension go on a carnivore diet.
Right? I wonder.
Just see what happens.
And keep the salt up.
Yep.
Just
That's
keep
what I
the
mean.
Salt on stuff.
Yeah, just keep hammering the salt.
So
Not the McDonald's packet iodized bullshit.
what's that?
Did you seriously put it on there?
Salty, come to Papa.
Ish.
Delicious, nutritious salt. Yeah, baby.
Ugh, it's not though. You just put water softener pellets on your burger.
I'll admit I'm a salt addict though. So
That's
my
if
thing.
you were on a deserted island and you got to pick, would it be sugar or salt? With no metabolic consequences.
Oh, if I could have only one of those two things for the rest, probably salt.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I find sugar is like
I'd pick sugar because it actually has fuel.
masturbating. Salt is like actually having sex. Right? Like sugar just feels like, it's just like empty pleasure. Whereas
But sugar
salt
actually
feels
has
nourishing.
nutritional. Salt doesn't have energy value though.
No, not energy
Sugar
value.
does.
It's just a mineral.
You could live on sugar.
Yeah. I'm just
Not for
pure, I'm just talking
Right.
pure what does my gut say? And that's what it said.
Your gut's wrong.
So sue me. Okay. So yeah. So that would be an interesting experiment though.
It would.
Let's have somebody can take 34, like what does Sean Baker eat? Does he, I know he puts real salt on his
He puts
ribeyes.
Himalayan, yeah.
Is he going over the 2,300? I probably, if he's eating 5 pounds of ribeye a day,
You gotta be wealthy to do that. This week,
it helps to be an orthopedic surgeon.
right. This week, I actually sense with a couple lapses in judgment. I started Monday morning. Well, I fasted Monday morning, and then at noon, about 9:30, 10 o'clock, I went to Costco. And I got that big fucking 9-pound, 10-pound tube of 90-10 beef.
Oh yeah.
And I got the big crate of eggs, the 5 dozen.
Yeah.
That's all I've eaten since Monday.
Wow.
This is
Just a bunch of beef and eggs?
Yep.
How do you feel?
Better. I felt like trash.
Like you just needed a kind of a cleanse.
Yep. I was.
You needed a meat cleanse.
Yeah, I was just. I'm human.
Yep.
And I was jam packed with fucking glucose, and I could feel it. I could see it in my face. My face was puffy, and I felt lethargic and shitty. And I stepped on the scale because I've been working out. So again, I'm human.
Yep.
So I fuck up. So I'm working my ass off. We go for this huge long hike in the Maplewood State Park, and that day I burned 2,200 calories. I ran a marathon, and then I do CrossFit all week. So I've been really slacking on my diet. And this is a testament to the people listening who think they're doing good with their 20 minutes on the elliptical.
Right.
I've been busting my ass and letting the food slide.
And that had more of an effect.
I've been taking more liberties.
Right.
Like, fuck off. I bust my ass. Let's get the pizza and the fried pickles.
And that was more detrimental. The food is more detrimental. You could not run it.
No, not even fucking close. And I was busting my ass. I stepped on the scale, 230. I'm like, wait, what? Because I hadn't stepped on the scale that whole time. Because I'm like, I'm on cruise control. I'm busting my ass. There's no way I'm going to gain weight.
Yep.
I gained 7 pounds.
Oh shit. Isn't that funny? And that's why we do so many more episodes on nutrition than we do fitness because of that exact reason. Because of the ratio of those two things to if you're trying to drop fat.
So, and people say what you want. I don't care anymore. I'm just so sick and tired of other people's opinions. So,
No, you're not.
Oh, yeah. Trust me.
No, you're not.
I get on the scale and I'm
That's
230.
when you say, I bet you can't get me to argue.
Right.
Or
I'm going to get you.
No, what's Dumb and Dumber?
Yep.
I bet I can't get you to bet. I bet you, or I bet get you to bet. I bet
give
you
me 10
can.
to 1.
Then they
Give me
shake
10
on
to
it
1.
and they go,
2
I'm
to
going
1.
to get you. I don't know when, but
2 to 1. You're on. They shake.
and he goes, I'm going to get you. I don't know how.
But I'm going to get you.
That's good shit.
Brilliant, right?
Here's a rabbit hole.
But anyways, let me finish.
Okay, all right.
230.
230, yep.
Beef, eggs. Stepped on this morning. 225.
Already down 5.
In 3 days.
Now are you salting that beef?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only salt I eat.
Right. I wonder, I don't even know how to measure this shit. Like, because salt is just such a, and that's why it gets away from people. Right?
And the grinder's different.
Yeah.
But to your point and the Sean Baker point that you were getting at earlier, or you made, nothing I was eating had anything added. Mm-hmm. So if I go, there's no way I'm 2,300
That's
milligrams.
the only salt for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get to 2,300 milligrams for the day.
Right. You're not in, it's not in the bread or whatever else you're eating, which is chock full of that.
Right.
And here's the other
And
thing.
besides, beef without salt?
Oh, bad.
Come
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
What?
No good.
I mean, I'll eat it. I like it, but you're robbing.
Yeah. If I was a vegetarian dog, I'll eat the saltless beef before I eat the vegetables.
Right. But something about just the salt that
You gotta have it.
just takes it just enhances everything.
No, yeah, my contention is you'd be healthier overall if you kept that up versus restricting your sodium and then continuing to eat the packaged things.
Sure, but the problem is science and the medical field is saying you're not ever going to stop eating those things, so you have to figure it out.
Yeah. The other problem is too, we don't know what amount of sodium you're taking in. But my contention is if you're both at 3,400, if you're just on meat and eggs and 3,400 milligrams versus processed food and 3,400 milligrams, you're going to be way better off.
Yeah,
And they're blaming,
for sure.
They're blaming the salt.
For sure.
No, because salt is the culprit.
Yeah.
It's not the salt prit.
You've been waiting all show to say that, haven't
It
you?
just came to me like a vision.
Okay.
So that's the study again, I think it's one of these things they're going to look back and go, oops, we fucked up like a decade from now.
Yeah.
They're going to go,
Like
remember
eggs.
when we said
or
eggs?
it's like eggs. And
just like eggs.
Eggs and coffee.
Well, and salt has already been through this.
True.
Salt has been shat on. It's been lauded. It's already waffled back and forth.
But I will say, when my blood pressure was higher and the doctor said, I'm putting you on blood pressure meds, and I said, the fuck you are. When I just monitored just the foods with salt in them, my blood pressure went down.
Just because the act of, what's that effect called? Where just the act of measuring it causes a reduction. I forget what that's called, but
Yeah,
that's a thing.
it is, but
Because you're hyper aware
it also, I cut my intake in half.
because you knew it was being watched.
For sure, whatever the reason was, I cut it in half and my BP went down.
Yeah.
So, but
You
at the
almost need-
same time, when I lost a shit ton of weight and didn't fuck with my salt at all, my blood pressure went down.
So I'm saying we need twins, goddammit.
Right.
We need two identical twins to one of them eat processed food, with no sodium, or keep your milligrams to 2,000 or whatever. And then we need a carnivore to eat 3,400 and see who has better blood pressure.
Well, that could be the same person. Just do it 6 months apart.
But it'd be more fun with twins.
It would. You can do it all at once. But here's where I think modern medicine gets a bad rap. When they say, Josh, you have high blood pressure. You need to cut the salt out. and you're like in your head, you're like, salt's not the fucking culprit.
Yeah.
All this other bullshit is the culprit that has added salt in it and it's processed to shit.
Yep.
I think what modern medicine is saying and that doctor is saying is, Josh, there's no way in hell you're going to stop eating those foods. So here's what you need to do.
I wish they would just say that. See, just treat us like adults and go, here's the problem. Here's why we think this is the way it is, rather than like lie to us because they know we're not going to be able to stop.
You think they're lying or they're jaded?
I don't know.
They're tired. If Sue comes in there and she weighs 750 and he's like, you need to lower your salt or you're going to die from hypertension. So stop eating these foods.
And she can't hear him over her chewing.
Sue's going to go, good one, doc. What's the pill?
Right. Well, yeah. But still, I mean, I just want to know the facts.
Sure.
And I can make
my
decision
and
based on that.
we're saying that like across the board.
Yep.
I bet there are some doctors who say you need to lose 200 pounds and you need to stop eating these processed foods and your blood pressure will come down.
Yeah, because we know, like, if you just go to whole food, like animal-based, protein forward, that's almost all these issues, right? And you're not saying anything about salt.
No.
It's not even a concern.
No. Nope.
So,
Like I told a buddy today, he's having little blood pressure issues and needs to lose, probably 40 plus pounds. And I said, dude, here's all you need to do. Eat less than 50 grams of carbs, less than 100 grams of fat, and eat the rest of your calories from protein.
Yep.
That's going to be hard. Of course it's going to be hard.
No shit.
What do you expect me to say? Eat ice cream?
Yeah.
It's going to be hard.
Exactly.
But guess what? If you can follow those macros,
Yep.
whatever your protein requirement is, I'm setting the bar pretty low on the fat and the carbs, so the protein requirements probably have to be a little high. Depending on your body type and what you weigh, blah, 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 you might have to increase the fat a little bit, maybe bump up the carbs a little bit.
But just getting anywhere close to what you just said.
Anywhere close, I said you're going to need to schedule skin reduction surgery.
Exactly.
In 6 months, you're going to schedule skin reduction surgery. Let me say it again.
Yep.
In 6 months, none of this is going to be a problem for you.
Right. So, exactly. So, who cares how freaking hard it is? Do you want those results or not?
Yeah.
There's the prescription. Either take it or don't.
And
but don't come back 6 months and say, ugh.
That didn't work.
I couldn't. Yeah, exactly.
Didn't work.
We know it works.
Right.
That's for damn sure.
So, next 6 months is going to be hell, bro. Not entirely, though, and we've covered this a million times. It's not going to be entirely hell.
No.
You're going to get Christmas.
Exactly.
You're going to get Thanksgiving.
Here's a salt I use.
Jesus, dude.
It's
like a cow salt lick.
I bought this 10-pound bucket of Redmond real salt.
10-pound bucket.
It's in my pantry, and I just have my refillable shaker thing, and just go dunk it in there every couple hours after I use them all.
Hours. Based on your McDonald's. So why don't you bring a shaker to your work so you don't have to eat that bullshit?
I should. I know. That's a good idea. But yeah, and just because listening to all the podcasts with the different carnivores and keto people, this stuff just kept coming up all the time. Because basically this is mined out of some ancient lake bed.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's from Utah or something.
Because it's salt.
Or no, it's okay. Here it says mined in Utah since 1958 from an ancient seabed protected from modern pollution. Compared to Himalayan Celtic, well, they're just trying to get the keywords in there. So when people search for it,
compared to everything else, we're the best.
Exactly.
Right.
So yeah, so that's kind of I use. But I think any of these Himalayan ones, any of the sea salts, the ancient seabed type stuff you're going to be good.
Yep.
So that's what I use.
I like sea salt too.
Hearing its name all the time.
I really like the mill.
The cranking it.
I like grinding it.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
You know what else grinding does?
Burns 1 calorie.
I don't use too much.
Oh yeah. True, because it's
just like
I can dump this shit on.
Right.
Yeah.
And I go, God, that sounds like a lot already.
Yeah. Right. Yep. Okay, so now I want to pull this up here. Okay, now here's where another one that talks about how much sodium per day. So FDA said 2,300 milligrams, right? And then most people were getting 3,400. So here's another source from heart.org.
So you know how miserable that must be for some people if the average is 3,400.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's a lot of people pulling that average down. So who's pulling it up?
Oh, yeah.
Jesus,
Right.
10,000 milligrams?
Guys that go to McDonald's and get the actual double quarter pounder
And the salt
fries. Right. And the fries, because how much there's tons of sodium in those.
And I remember when I didn't care.
And the ketchup is full of sodium.
And sugar.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Ketchup is a
If you
sneaky
listened
offender.
last week.
right.
But the
that's
salt,
a sneaky sodium one too.
I remember sitting at McDonald's, even when I used to go there, because I used to be the salesman special. You'd go in and you'd just grab a number 2 and a couple double cheeseburgers and some fries and a pop, and you're out the door.
Yep.
I remember sitting in there mowing on my food-like substance and watching people like dump their fries on their tray and then put salt on the fries.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I do.
Wouldn't watch them when they're making them. They're already putting it on there.
Oh yeah, but it's not. That ain't enough, bro.
Oh my God. My face would sink in. I couldn't do that.
Okay, so let's check out what heart.org says. What should my Dalium sodium intake be? The American Heart Association recommends no more than 2,300. Okay, so they're right in line with the FDA.
Yep.
And moving towards an ideal limit of no more than 1,500. That's tough. I mean, that's,
That's my serving of the Olive Garden dressing.
yeah, exactly.
That's it right there.
Wow. But again, they're attributing a lot of heart risk to just the sodium, which is kind of interesting.
It's true, though.
Well, I don't know. Like I said, if
It is true.
If it was all things being equal, if you took Sean Baker and then had
Sean Baker is a grinder. I've watched him. He doesn't eat 10,000 milligrams of salt.
Well, I know, but I'm saying, obviously we don't know.
He's
but
probably like 1,200.
if you took 2 Sean Baker twins and had one of them eat, 3,400 milligrams and one of them eat 15, who would be in better health? That's really the question. Is the sodium alone the only factor that's going to cause increased risk?
Right.
That's what we
Fair
need to
enough.
know.
Yeah.
We don't know that.
Right.
That's the crazy thing is they're just attributing it to this.
But like anything, you can have too much.
Yeah, well, I think there is a point at which it's too much. I just don't know. My contention is that number is higher than they're saying.
I think it is higher than they're saying if we already covered this.
Yep.
It's higher than they're saying if you eat really, really well around it.
Exactly.
If you eat like shit around it, then you need to follow their guidelines.
And here again, they reiterate, remember, more than 70% of the sodium Americans eat comes from packaged, prepared, and restaurant foods, not the salt shaker. So, like you said earlier, typically people attribute the salt per day to what they're putting on.
Yep.
Not realizing
I don't even put salt on my food. That's like, I remember when we were kids, my mom didn't know why she did this, but she did it. Probably because somebody else said it to her. But we'd get our meal right for the salt shaker. And she's like, taste it first.
Right. Yeah. That's true.
No.
Because I think you get,
No. We just start dumping
you
it
get
on.
trained.
Yep.
You train your body to what you like too. And I'm sure I'm guilty of that.
And we'd say shit like, well, you made it, so I don't need to taste it first.
I know it's tasteless.
Pass me the second shaker.
I need to two-fist this bitch.
Right.
Okay, so here's the flip side of the coin. Is there such thing as eating too little sodium? The body needs only a small amount of sodium, less than 500 milligrams per day, to function properly. That's a mere smidgen, the amount in less than a quarter teaspoon. Very few people can come close to eating less than that amount. Plus, healthy kidneys are great at retaining the sodium that your body needs. So they're basically saying like anything above that is just you're just showing off. Look what I can process. Look what my kidneys can process.
Right. Look at how much stress I'm putting on my kidney.
My kidneys are hard. They're stoic. Get it? My kidneys are masculine. They can take a lot of salt. Worried you're not getting enough sodium? It's not likely. All right. So basically they're saying almost everybody just from walking around, you're inhaling enough sodium to meet the daily requirements. And anything beyond that is you're just taking a risk. I don't know. I want to see the twin bakers go after it. Now, here's another. Now, just like a week earlier, I saw this freaking article, okay? Food myths busted. Dairy, salt, and steak may be good for you after all. And they wonder why we're confused.
Right.
Oh, shit. I'll see if we can narrow it down to just what they say about salt, okay? Okay, and 50% of the foods we eat in the UK is now ultra-processed. Okay, dairy. Okay, let's see. Talk about salt. Don't cut out salt completely. A moderate amount is better for you. We're told to minimize our salt intake, even to the extent of not salting water to boil pasta. Who wants to live like that? However, research published recently concludes that the extremely low levels of sodium intake currently advised are associated with increased heart disease risk. Now, they're saying the exact opposite, whereas moderate amounts are ideal for most people. So that shit's all over the last article, which said you can basically inhale 500 milligrams and that's all your body needs. Anything more is just showing off.
Can I be honest with you?
No.
I haven't heard a word you said. I've been staring at those ribeyes. Look at that. I'd eat that right there. Just how it is. Don't even cook it.
Oh, Liver King style?
Oh, so good.
Just full on.
Look at it.
Full on carnival.
It's just beauty.
That is well lit. Props to the photographer.
Right.
That
right.
helped. It looks moist. It's got side lighting.
Oh, it's just, it looks ready. You know what I mean? Just.
Yep. I agree. Just needs more salt.
That's kind of little on there. But yeah, it would. I remember when we used to butcher deer, I'd always like to just eat like a slice and put salt on it. And,
Yeah. Just like right off the deer.
Yep.
Like right out in the field. Or when you're hanging them up in the garage or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, when we're cutting them up.
Sounds like toxic masculinity to me.
I guess I didn't make little kids do it. Put that goddamn doll down and eat this raw deer.
Just come here and take a bite out of this deer's asshole.
Right.
Otherwise, you're not a man. Okay, so
That's what they're like. Then I'm not a man. See you later.
So I didn't inherit the hunting gene. I don't know why. Like, I feel like I'm as masculine as anybody, but hunting, like, I've never been into guns and hunting.
Really?
My dad hunted, all my uncles, everybody hunted around me. A lot of my friends do. I don't know. I just never
I quit.
did it.
I
don't
quit
have anything wrong, any problem with it at all. But
I quit because it's impossible to find land.
oh yeah,
You can't get access anywhere. So I'm like,
yeah.
exercise in futility. Opening day, you'd drive around, burn up a tank of gas, ask,
Just
nope,
looking.
nope.
Right.
Fuck, forget
Yeah.
it. What a waste of time.
It's tough. Back in the old days, you just went out and shot whatever you wanted.
Right. Well, in a lot of the old days, you'd go knock on a farmer's door and you'd be like, hey, mind if we walk that way? God, kill those goddamn things.
Oh, because they're eating
Everything.
eating their
And they're
hay
just-
and stuff.
Your mom's flowers and apple trees and
Right.
they're rodents.
Right.
Let's get rid of them.
Forest rodents.
Now it's cool and trendy because Joe Rogan does it and Cameron Haynes does it, and I want to be like Cameron. And now every nerd that can go to Shields with a credit card has a bow, and hopefully someday we get it back from the hipsters.
The hipster hunters. The huntsters.
Yeah. If you have a man bun and hand tattoos, stop hunting so I can go back to it.
Maybe that's it. Since my hair is getting longer, I just have less urge to hunt now.
Right. Now you just need the knuckle tattoos.
Let's say I wanted to spell out vegan, but I didn't have enough knuckles. I guess it'll just have to be PETA. PETA. Yep,
That's
that works.
the one that no regrets. Have you seen that one?
Yes. That's classic. All right, back to the salt here. Okay, so the researchers say that most countries in the world, apart from China and a few others, have above or already have average sodium intakes within the lowest risk range. There's little evidence that lowering sodium below this average level will reduce cardiovascular events or death. Okay. So, like every freaking thing we talk about, there's two completely different sides, right? One saying, you inhale enough sodium, don't go near anything, don't add any. And then this one's saying, go ahead. It's not going to hurt.
Dude, those Audi e-trons.
What?
That Audi e-tron.
You have ADHD, man.
Well, it's bad.
I'm reading the words. You're like, look at that ad. I love that ad.
But it's a
Me
Audi.
want car.
It's an Audi.
Is that good?
The new electric Audis. Oh, they're just absolute rocket ships. Speaking of cars.
Better turn that off so you don't keep staring at it.
All right. I have to say this because I was watching TV last night, and I know you're going to.
Shatner went up in space.
That's where I'm going.
Oh, okay.
That's where I'm going. We've been doing this too long. You started reading my mind. So
Did he go up in the dick rocket?
he went in the Blue Origin,
Is that
which
the
is
dick?
Bezos.
Is that that's the dick rocket?
Is it?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not how I classify things. But it was a spaceship. But anyways, no, Neil deGrasse Tyson was on with your favorite.
Yep, here it is.
Oh, okay. Oh, whatever.
The Dick Rocket.
However, Blue Origin. Yeah, whoever it gets there, whatever.
It was just funny because when it went up the first time, everybody said that.
Oh, right.
Looks
right.
like a giant dildo.
Right.
I'm sure it was form.
Oh, I remember seeing
it was
them-
function over form.
I saw the meme.
It just
that
needs to
had
work.
I saw the meme with they're looking at it in school or whatever, and it said, "My mommy has one like that. It's the same color, it's blue and white."
This one takes a lot more D cells though.
Yeah, no shit. So, anyways, Neil
Shatner.
deGrasse Tyson was on with Anderson Cooper last night, and he said, Anderson Cooper goes, "You're a mathematic nuclear physicist, whatever his title is, like wicked smart."
Astronomer, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's an astrologist, I think.
Is he?
No, that's somebody that believes in the signs. Remember, Virgo. And,
No, he's an astrophysicist.
yeah, I know it's been funny.
Okay. It wasn't funny.
He's an astrologist.
Okay.
There, now it's funny.
I don't like those. My daughter does. I think it's stupid. But get this. And then Anderson Cooper goes, "Well, that's your wheelhouse.
Like, why
Are
aren't you
you
up there?
next?"
Right.
And he's like, "No, does nothing for me." He's like, "What? They're in space." He goes, "Not really."
Oh, because they're
Anderson
not far
Cooper-
enough, you mean?
Yeah. And Anderson Cooper
They're
goes,
just in
"What are you
upper
talking
they're
about?
just in upper atmosphere."
They're weightless and they're how many miles about?" He goes, and this is, I was like, "Pooh." Neil deGrasse Tyson goes, "Here's for frame of reference. Take your average schoolroom globe and then pick a spot on the top of the earth. The maximum height of Blue Origin would be the equivalent of 2 dimes."
Oh, above the. Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah, because really they're just technically in the upper atmosphere.
Right.
Yeah, and they're just far enough away where gravity doesn't
Yep.
have the pull anymore. So
Right.
that's why they're weightless. And they
Right.
can. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that is kind of.
But when he said the thickness of 2 dimes is how high above
Yeah,
the earth,
right.
and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. Still be pretty badass, though.
Oh, for sure. I mean, William Shatner, when they interviewed him with Bezos, when they landed on the ground, he was like bawling like a little kid.
Yeah. Well, think about it. I mean, he's been associated with space for
Right.
freaking ever.
That's why it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're about the same age, and I mean, we just came up, we were born right after the moon landing, a couple years after the moon landing. So I've just been fascinated with that my whole life.
Sure.
Like I remember we got out of school because Columbia went up, which is the first space shuttle. In like I think it was 79 or 80 or something.
Yeah.
And then of course we watched Challenger
Yeah.
in our classrooms. 'cause
Yeah,
I was
everyone did, and I was like,
like, that was brutal.
it's the worst thing you ever saw as a kid on TV.
Yeah, because there was a teacher on, so they really made an extra focus on education.
Yep.
So
And we couldn't, I'm getting goosebumps now.
yeah, that was.
And we couldn't wrap our mind around it as it was happening.
God.
They're like, well, what, did they get their parachutes? Or
I know that was awful.
you didn't know what death was? I mean, you couldn't.
Well, I was in 7th grade. I think I was in 7th or 8th grade when it happened. So I had a little more concept like, oh,
I was
shit.
like 4th or 5th then, yeah.
Yeah, that was not good.
Oof.
Including her class,
Right,
watching extra hard, in an auditorium. Ugh. Yeah, that had to screw up those kids. All right.
Chance, though.
But it,
what happens?
Well,
You're
yeah,
gonna
I mean, that's why those people are so brave because they,
sit below 5,000 pounds of jet fuel. And
well, yeah, I mean, when they were developing those rockets like that, forget what the program is called, but prior to the
NASA?
well, not, but it was Apollo or whatever,
Oh, yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
range of launches they did before they got to the moon.
Oh,
I
yep,
mean,
yep.
I think one of them blew up on the launch pad.
Oh,
That kind of,
Yeah.
it's so risky.
it was like the equivalent of us trying to build something in our backyard.
Yeah. I mean, they
Trial and error.
they had to know that their odds of survival were pretty slim. So yeah, definitely very brave, courageous people.
There's got to be, yeah. I mean, and think of the asshole Russians. They're like, let's put the monkeys in. What? What a dick move.
Anything to win. Yep.
What if we don't survive? Well, try the monkeys.
the
Fuck the monkeys. Who cares?
Fuck the monkeys. Fuck the monkey. Isn't that a song by Peter Gabriel?
But that's bullshit music. Hate that music.
All right. Let's wrap it up here, guys. That was this week's episode. So salt, I guess we solved it, right? either eat a ton or just the right amount or barely any? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Do the research and make a decision.
If you're not going to eat the bullshit, then cut your sodium. Stop eating the bullshit and then have as much salt as you want.
Boom. I can't even say any better than that. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up there. Send emails to info@fitandfurious.com with your questions, topic ideas, etc. Make sure you watch on YouTube for maximum memes. Please subscribe. Also, check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, anywhere audio podcasts are found. Please subscribe, rate, review, and share. Go to FuriousMerch.com for t-shirts, and we will see you next week. I'm in space. This is fabulous.